Amsterdam, Garth and Jamie here. We know this is your Vision Builders season and we wanted to send you greetings and an update and huge thanks for all that you've done to stand with us as we have headed out over the past number of years to plant C3 Nairobi. We wish our daughter Elsie could be in this video. We tried, and she's way too energetic for things like this in this season of her life. But she sends her love, and we know you'll meet her one day.
Absolutely. But can you believe Amsterdam was 5 years ago where God said to us, pack up everything, sell everything, and move yourselves to Nairobi. We didn't have a team, we didn't know anyone, and we just knew that God said it's time. And then you can see, fast forward a little bit to us in a living room with 12 people, just from word of mouth. And the church started to grow organically and beautifully. And now you can see an updated picture there of us, a recent photo when Pastor Phil visited us, which was such an incredible experience.
Yeah, and so we just want to say, as I mentioned, a huge thank you for standing with us over the long term, for not losing interest after a year or two, but being faithful and enduring in your support towards us and all that is happening in Nairobi. So thank you, Pastor Stephen Lisby, for leading the charge. Thank you for church for jumping on that and seeing the vision of that. We're so grateful. And so we also bring other exciting news, and that is that a couple of years into our time in Nairobi, the Lord placed a vision in our hearts to expand that vision to include another location in the Middle East and another location in Australia. And so we have this desire to see one church in 3 locations in 3 countries around the world. And the good news is about the birth of Elsie and this season that we're experiencing around the world, that God has triggered that vision to start and to commence. And so we are going to wrap up our full-time season of living in Nairobi. We'll continue to lead the church as a location, but in the immediate future, we're going to get our Australian location established. But as we do that as well, we are fixing our eyes on our Middle East location, which we feel very strongly in God to be Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. And so we are grateful that you guys are going to stand with us again as we believe God to plant a church in an Islamic nation, in one of the great cities of the world. And so we're going to spend the next few years raising finances, building team, casting vision, and doing things like study and ticking boxes that are required for governance purposes in that city. And we know it's going to take a little bit of time to get established, but we know we're speaking to people who have faith and endurance and patience to see a God vision come about. And so thank you for standing with us again, and we hope one day we can share another video telling of another church that we've planted together in another part of the world, and we can continue to expand the kingdom of God and celebrate the building of the church in cities around the world. So God bless you, we love you, we're grateful for you, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon, stay safe.
Bye.
Hello Vision Builders 2020, and thank you so much for having us and sharing in this vision for Edinburgh with us. Look, my name is Nathan.
I'm Lisa, and many of you know that we pastor C3 Edinburgh in Scotland, just across the river. Sea.
We're so close. And we just want to tell you a little bit about what's happening at the moment as you go into Vision Builders 2020.
Yeah, look, this year, 2020, our heart for our church was to make big people, to make disciples, which we have talked about making big people. So we've, obviously, COVID has thrown a crazy challenge to every human on planet Earth, but our people have risen to it.
Absolutely. We know that big people in Jesus make big foundations for the future, and the future is bright here. And so we're so thankful that you'd be supporting us the way you are and praying for us the way you are. So I guess just from us, our church community, To you guys there at C3 Amsterdam, thank you with all of our heart. We're so blessed to be a part of Vision Builders.
Love you, C3 Amsterdam. Love you, C3 Amira. Love you, C3 West location.
All of you.
The war in northern Uganda between the LRA and Ugandan government hadn't even finished the first time that Pastor Chris went north to Verder. When she arrived, she met with Alice Achan, and Alice had been working there since 2002. Boys and girls who'd been abducted by the LRA were returning in large numbers to Verder district. Christian Counselling Fellowship, CCF, started with Alice just collecting girls under a tree. They would sit there and she would just help them deal with their trauma. She had social work training and she was able to just walk with them from day to day and help them to deal with what they had seen and experienced when they were abducted. She was establishing a school where the babies could live with their mothers, which was unheard of, but she was also thinking about livelihood and how she could provide avenues for these girls. She had plans for a guest house. And it wasn't just a guest house so people could stay, it was a guest house where the girls could learn about hospitality so that they would have a path out of the village or even within the village. And that's where C3 came on board and we became the partner in that guest house. The CCF guest house was opened in 2012. Alice is an extraordinary visionary. So you ask Alice what she needs, she will always know what comes next.
My dream is, after completing the guest house, which is soon going to be finished, my next target for fundraising will be to set up this maternity home.
C3 has provided some really important scholarships for girls to go into nursing, midwifery and teaching. And when the Maternal and Child Health Centre opened in the heart of Verder in 2017, some of those girls were among the midwives who opened the clinic. The issues around maternal health in northern Uganda are huge. Each woman has to provide her own birthing kit, and often they can't afford those or they can't access them. C3 has supported well over 1,000 birthing kits that have gone to women in communities in northern Uganda. C3's connection and relationship with Alice goes back to the really early days of the organisation, and really it's been a catalyst for many other people to come on board. By standing with them as we are partners in the transformation of the people of northern Uganda.